People call me the world's best bargain hunter. I call them with my Kogan Mobile monthly plan. Unlimited talk, text, and 10 gigs for $15. Talk about a bargain. KoganMobile.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Breakfast with Garry and Tim.
Oh, in the last hour, it's been a lot of fun this morning. Good to be back on radio and reconnecting with everyone. The AFL season's not too far away.
Yes, and before we get to 8:30, I've got a big question for you two in Questions Without Notice about somebody I have heard could possibly be the replacement on the couch for Nick Reeves. But before we get to that,
me.
I did some research during the break because I knew we had Ned Reeves obviously coming up.
Yes.
And before we get to Ned, on the 2nd of August, right, this is 2022, this is last year, 2nd of August. You said this, direct quote, Ned Reeves could be a top 25 player in the AFL.
You know?
There you go.
Where did I say that?
I'm giving you some flowers.
Well, for Hawthorn fans, they would hope he does because he just signed a new 3-year deal with the Hawks, committed till the end of 2026, which is nice to lock away these talented youngsters. And he's been good enough to join us. Ned, congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on getting the bag, Ned.
So how does this work? You sit down and negotiate over the dinner table with Dad?
I wish it was that simple. Probably would have made it easier. But no, we tend to kind of stick clear from each other a bit at work, actually.
No, that makes sense. Your old man, of course, is the CEO. This is big news. Lloyd Meek has come over from the Fremantle Footy Club as well, so all of a sudden the Hawthorn Footy Club are really well served in the big man department. How do you think it's going to work with the two of you?
Yeah, so far we've gone against each other at training mostly, it's been a really good little battle. We're really hoping we're quite different in our strengths, so. I reckon we should work really well together. He's a bit more mobile, a bit more explosive around the ground, and I can try and use my height, especially in the centre bounces, and maybe even a bit forward more.
Hey, Ned, congratulations on the deal. You're 24 years of age. You hurt your shoulder last year. You played 12 games last year. What part of your game do you think you need to work on the most?
I think for me, last year especially, when we brought in Peter Burge this year as the new strength and conditioning coach, I've had since the best pre-season I've had and feeling a lot fitter running wise, which has been my weakness the last few years. So I feel like I've always got work to do, but I think I'm not going to be as limited by that part as I have been the last few years. So I'm really excited to actually be able to do a bit more and have a bit more impact around the ground with that.
Everyone gets hold of intel in this game. Were you feeling that other ruckmen were testing you in that department when you were playing against them?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely remember a few times where they almost looked at me and just said, "I've got you here." And then there's not much you could do sometimes. You just had to try and wrestle them a bit and tire them out in other ways. But yeah, I'm feeling confident that won't really be an issue anymore.
So, obviously, you want to play and start and be the number one ruckman. Lloyd Meek would have the same sort of ambitions, and competition's great. And we see it around the league, and most notably probably Gawn and Grundy now. Does it mean that you've got to have the capacity to go forward and kick a goal?
I think it does now, especially with most teams probably playing two. One of us has to be forward. You can't really be rotating off the bench using one bench spot just for us. So, and I think, last year I probably got a lot of confidence out of the second half of the year going forward and being able to kick a few goals. And Meekie's done the same at Freo in his past year and at training already this season. He's shown that he can do it. So, I think we should be able to work really well as a team. And then even our other rucks, like Lynchy's been going really good forward this year as well. And even young Ramo has been kicking a few goals. So I think either way that it goes, that we should be right in that area.
And the thing that really struck me watching you last year, throughout the year, was your actual ruck work. The palming of the ball was, I think, sublime at times, and your connection with your midfield. Sam Mitchell was as good as anyone in reading ball off hands. Has he had a role to play in all of this?
Yeah, Sam has some very strong feedback when it comes to how the midfielders want the ball, which is always good. And yeah, we do a lot. We do a lot of work. So David Hale, having a ruckman as a midfield coach has been the best thing ever, because ruckmen are clearly the smartest people on the team. So we do a lot of work with touch and connection with the mids. And that's something that I've always prided myself on, was like hit out to advantage kind of percentage.
Talking to Ned Reeves, Hawks ruckman just signed a new 3-year deal, committed until the end of 2026 with the Hawks. He hasn't done you any favours though, Sam Mitchell, from the outside. He's moved on Jager O'Meara and Tommy Mitchell. What do you got left to hit the ball to?
We've got quite a few young players now. So I think I'm almost the oldest in the midfield, which feels weird, except Carl actually has just come in. But yeah, it's actually quite exciting. So John Newcomb, my housemate, we've got a pretty good connection. And then we've got like Warpy, we've got brought in Cooper Stevens, Josh Ward is killing it at the moment. Even our young draftee Cam McKenzie is flying. So I think we've got quite a good young talent, and I think we'll surprise a few people in there.
Who of those names you mentioned, who do you think is going to surprise people the most in 2023 of those young midfielders?
I reckon Warps obviously didn't have the year he wanted last year, but so far what I've seen, he's back to his best, and I think he can really get back to that 2019 or 2020 Peter Crimmins form he had. And then the other one, Cam McKenzie, our first pick in the draft last year, is a gun.
Ned, you got the bag, you got the 3-year deal, you got all this money now. What is it that you got your eye on? What are you going to go out there and buy first?
Well, hoping to buy a new 3-wood. Just bought a new set of clubs and forgot about it, so I needed to fill that up.
So where do we play golf?
Not well. Just learning. I'm a bit tall.
No, that'd be long clubs, that's for sure. Hey, I think it's a great re-signing by the Hawks to be able to lock you away, and Hawthorn supporters know that they've got to be a little bit patient given the way the rebuild's going, but to have you there for the next 3 years is a great thing. So good on you, mate. Well done, and let's hope you have a great year this year.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's big
well done, Ned.
Ned Reeves there from the Hawthorn Footy Club. Hawthorn supporters, I'm really interested in their expectation for the year. Like, it's almost like the media, us, are jamming down their throats that, it's going to be a tough year. It's going to be a rebuild year. It's going to be. I don't reckon Sam Mitchell's thinking that.
No, it will. It does look like from the outside though that it is very much a reset, rebuild, though, doesn't it?
Well, I reckon when everyone does their predictions and all that sort of stuff, that they'll be in the bottom 4 of most.
Yeah,
I don't reckon that's the way they're thinking.
No, but they'll be like he'll make them a competitive team because they'll be built in the image of the way that he played, and he was super competitive.
Yeah. Give us your thoughts, Hawks fans, on what would be a pass mark for the year. Now, the music, which continues to be a point of contention, and you're the one who's in charge of it, Tony has come through. He says, boys, that song's terrible. The Red Hot Chili Peppers do not suit you at all. And then the very next message, love this music. Lock it in for the opener.
No, it's not locked in. It's not locked in. We're trialling another little track tomorrow. We're going to drop that tomorrow. Darren's on the road. He wants to talk about Eddie Jones. He was very impressed with the interview that we conducted. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Gary. Welcome back.
Thanks, Dazzler.
Geez, are you guys semi-retired, though? 3 days a week, 3 hours a day. I wish I could get those hours.
I know, I know, but Darren, you don't understand the 5, 6, 7 hours of research we do to put this show together every day.
True. I wouldn't like to get up at that hour anyway.
That's true.
Listening to Eddie Jones just made me think about the coaches that we have on an international level, and never really recognised at home before they get to 11 and start and then sent overseas, like Ange Postecoglou, Darren Cahill in tennis, and now this guy.
Yeah.
Eddie was fantastic when he was at the front, but the media hated him. I'm just wrapped his back. So I'm interested in the Wallabies and probably haven't been interested for the last 5 years. So.
I'm a bit like that too, Darren, and that was the question that I asked him. There was a stage where they were very much at the forefront of all of our sporting loves, but they've sort of dropped off the the map a little bit, and I think he'll give them some relevance again, and it's a massive year for rugby this year. So we'll watch and see how it all unfolds. Thanks for giving us a call. You're in the running for the Toyota Hilux Rogue, as is Matty from Mount Waverley, who's rung through. G'day, Matty.
G'day, boys. Just wanted to talk about the Hawks. So I think in my mind, top eight's the pass mark, and anything on the fringe of that is the near pass. So I think Sammy Mitchell identified that the ageing list wasn't probably going to be able to deliver to their game plan and was just going to hold them back. I think the only thing that holds up that footy team is the loss of Mitchell Lewis and how quick can he come back and how well he can come back, as well as the on-field leadership, because at times they'll have some moments where things are a little bit dicey. And back in the days, I think when the Hawks started the rebuild with the likes of Luke Hodge and Mitchell, they still had some senior heads to guide them through it. And that's the only part for me that is a question mark. But other than that, top eight.
All right. Christine's text through and she agrees. Just in or just out of the eight. So let's put you back in your box, Crispy.
Has it?
Yes,
if you say so, I agree with you. They had 8 wins last season. Yeah. They played top 8 sides 10 times, so they had a reasonably tough draw last year too.
How many wins did the Eagles have last year?
Well, I've got them as 2. Did I get that right or not? I had them as
they had 2 wins for the year.
I had 2. Maybe I've missed one somewhere, but they didn't win many games last year, the West Coast Eagles. I looked at the draw. That's what I did, enough sort of footy fan thing over the break. I got bored.
You went real
I went back and looked at all
style.
their draws last year. Do you know what?
What?
Essendon and St Kilda, based on sides that finished in the top 8, they had the toughest draws last year, both those clubs.
Who did?
Essendon played top 8 sides in the first 10 rounds of last season.
The eventual top 8 sides.
Yeah, but the eventual top 8 sides in the first 10 rounds of the of the season. And that's why, like, we don't have a draw, we have a fixture.
Yeah.
And it's determined by where you finish the previous year. So it can obviously it can determine where you might finish at the end of the year too. If you get a softer draw, I mean, you can end up being one of those bottom 8 type sides.
It doesn't always. Sometimes you look at your draw and you go, "Oh, I've got a soft draw," and then one of those teams that you thought was soft, like Collingwood last year, they weren't soft.
Who do you think is the easy team? Who do you think will be the bottom of the table team this season, off the top of your head?
Oh, I don't do this.
I know you don't do this stuff until the end of the year, but who right now? I'm asking you, who do you think is going to be the 18th best side in the competition? I'll give you 4 teams. Okay, Hawthorn, Adelaide,
Giants,
North Melbourne. Are you going to throw the Giants in there as a bottom 4 side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was your other one?
No, they're the 4 teams. They're your 4 teams.
You had the Giants in there.
No, I didn't. They're your 4 teams.
I only gave you 1 team.
No, I gave you the other 3 just to help you because you were struggling. Now, when we come back, we're going to do questions without notice.
Yeah.
Okay. I got this question for you because I had something thrown on my desk yesterday about the replacement for Nick Revolt on your couch program.
You wouldn't know.
I've got to run it by you when we come back.
You'd have no idea.
And you've got to be honest. You've got to put your hand on your heart when you answer this question.
I've got questions for you too then about the Channel Wisp coverage. That chat with Ned Reeves was all thanks to Mate Pocket Change mobile phone plans with Mate, $1 per month for 3 months with Mate mobile plans. Make the switch today.
Got a boat or a jet ski? Get peace of mind with Club Marine Boat Insurance. Flexible cover for your jet ski or boat, motor, trailer and gear, all in one policy. Get a quote at clubmarine.com.au. T's and C's apply. Check the PDS to see if this product is right for you. Go to the Club Marine website for a PDS and TMD.